So the United States is fucked. Brutal heat wave headed for the U.S. West, raising health fears. This is from The Guardian. A brutal, potentially record-breaking heat wave is setting over the U.S. West, the latest in a string of extreme temperature events that's putting communities on high alert for heat-related illness and death. The National Weather Service expects highs of 115 Fahrenheit, 46 centigrade in parts of Southern California, Sacramento, and the San Joaquin Valley over Labor Day weekend. Extreme heat warnings have been triggered up and down the state, including in the Bay Area. Temperatures are expected to build throughout the week, with northern and southern California bracing for the highest temperatures during the week. Parts of the Pacific Northwest, Nevada, Idaho, and Montana will also face dangerous temperatures. Boise, Idaho is expected to finish August with an average temperature of 80 Fahrenheit, the highest since record keeping began in 1875. Temperatures are expected to be 8 to 12 degrees above normal in northwest Arizona, southeast of California, and southern Nevada. Across many of these areas, blah, blah, blah. The heat wave is just the latest in several to hit the U.S. this summer. As they grow more frequent and intense, California is debating naming and ranking them similarly to hurricanes to underscore their significance. That's not a bad system. Anyway, once again, climate change. Are we going to do anything about this? So California has a water restriction in place, right? As there's a heat wave. Now, if you're rich, the water restriction doesn't really apply to you. But there was a water restriction in place. And now there's a heat wave. And this is what, the 15th heat wave of the year? And it's only going to get worse. And there's no end in sight. Is anyone going to do anything about it? Now, I'm glad I don't live in California. And I'm also glad I don't live in the South either. So for me, it's been getting a lot cooler over time recently. I mean, I'm hoping there's no more heat waves coming. But anyway, again, there's going to be in 50 years from now, not even like 20, 30 years probably, by 2050, I mean to say, going to be parts of the United States that are just totally uninhabitable. It's just, you can't live there. Sorry. Get like the police tape, just bring police tape and just draw a big line around Nevada, because that shit is going to get canceled pretty fucking soon. I need people to understand that, like, the government's not going to protect you. Your parents are not going to protect you. No one is going to protect you. So we need to protect ourselves, right? We need to, build systems in place, If there is a heat wave, right? Get an air conditioner, find a room in your house, right? Make sure all the doors and windows are sealed. Get that room, like, decked out. Get your fucking cool-ass computer. Get your video games in there. Get a couple of board games. Bring the whole family into one small room in your house. Get a window unit and just cool down that room and say the whole house is off limits. That's what I would do. And when it's really hot, close all the doors and just cycle all the cool air into one room. That way it costs less power and it's more cool over time, right? So, you need to build like water filtration systems, right? Because the water quality can't be relied on, right? During these heat waves, right? What happens if the water gets fucked up like in Jackson, Mississippi? What the fuck are you going to do, right? And so, I don't know, man. Really, the only option is to spend more of the money you don't have to prepare yourself, because no one is going to help you. There will be no public help. No one will help you. The infrastructure, even though Infrastructure Week was last year, not going to be fixed. Climate change, even though we found out about this stuff over 100 years ago, not going to be fixed, right? It's a giant fucking disaster, and we have to deal with it because no one else will. The U.S. government refuses, right? The California government refuses, right? No one in power gives a fuck about you because they're all taken care of. They live in air-conditioned offices. They always have perfectly fine drinking water at all times. If Gavin motherfucking Newsom was living somewhere where you couldn't drink the water or didn't have any access to air conditioning, I guarantee you he would do something. But guess what? He's only the governor because he's not in that position, right? So that's just how it works in this country. We are fucked, and more people are going to die, and it's going to get really bad. Every year, it will get worse. Spend the time in between heat waves to prepare for the next heat wave. That's the only thing I can say. So, Jesus. But anyway, there you go.